The final of the Demon Hunting Group selection competition is played by Long Haochen against Yang Wenzhao. Since losing to Yang Wenzhao in the preliminary match, Long Haochen has been eager to fight Yang Wenzhao again. On the challenge arena, seeing this old opponent again, Long Haochen couldn't conceal his excitement and a light smile unconsciously flashes across his face. Ever since he saw Hao Yue, Yang Wenzhao has been looking forward to such a battle as him. He wants to see what step can Long Haochen achieve after having Hao Yue as his mount. Before the game starts, the two gods' favored ones show amazing fighting spirit, which spreads and causes a wave of anger that make the audience shudder. Li Xian nervously clenches her fists and stares at her younger brother. But Kaia remains relaxed, with a slight smile still hanging on her cheeks. Finally, as the referee announces the start of the game, Long Haochen and Yang Wenzhao's converged spiritual power suddenly explode. Holding the long sword in his hand, they all rushes to and fight against each other. Amid the clank of metal, the two figures shuttle back and forth as they have exchanges about 10 moves. Both of them are extremely fast. Some of the audience try concentrating the spiritual power into their eyes, but all they can see is the collision of shadows. Ying Suifeng watches their fight as his face under the mask turns livid. This final should have had a place for Kair and the Assassin Temple, but now it's the two knights who have stolen their thunder. He casts a sullen glance at his old friend Han Qian, only to see the latter is all smiles drawing himself up to his full height. Seeing Han Qian's proud expression, Ying Suifeng somehow is furious. Jealousy drives him to pinch fingerprints out of the armrest of the seat. The two people on the challenge arena, unaware of the reactions of the people around them, immerse themselves wholeheartedly in the fierce battle. Yang Wenzhao is surprised to find that in just a few decades, Long Haochen's spiritual power and strength are almost a match for that of him, a 5-level peak knight. With deep look flashing in his sharp eyes, Yang Wenzhao summons the Spirit Furnace, and he's ready to use the attack means of the Xinghai Spirit Furnace to find a chance to defeat Long Haochen at one stroke. With a damp breath filling the air, Yang Wenzhao's Xinghai Spirit Furnace floats in the middle of the sky. At the moment this blue spirit furnace appears, the water elements of this heaven and earth seem to be summoned, constantly gathering in its direction, solidifying countless arrows in the middle of the sky. Faced with the attacks from all sides, Long Haochen, with his eyes flashing, withdraws his long sword and through spiritual perception, summons the lotus of blue rainlight. When this simple and magnificent long sword appears in Long Haochen's hand, the weapons of the entire venue seem to be frightened and begin to tremble, showing a sign of submission and worship. The appearance of the weapon causes a stir among the other weapons. This is a divine meaning that only legendary equipment can possess. The head of the warrior temple leans forward, his eyes wide open, and stares at the lightsaber in Long Haochen's hand. The same strange scene appeared when Wang Yuanyuan summoned the shield of the spirit god. However, the movement caused by the lightsaber in Long Haochen's hand is even more intense than the shield of the spirit god. He couldn't figure out why a level 5 knight could drive such powerful artifacts. The audience is also attracted by the flawless lightsaber in Long Haochen's hand, with a pair of burning eyes that were filled with envy, as if witnessing a stunning beauty. After a brief moment of consternation, Yang Wenzhao quickly regains his composure. No matter what cards Long Haochen holds, he will not flinch. This is the glory of being a knight. The bricks and stones at his feet explode, and Yang Wenzhao, like a shell, blasts towards Long Haochen. At the same time, the attack of the Xinghai Spirit Furnace is followed and coming at Long Haochen overwhelmingly. With a powerful roar resounding through the audience, Long Haochen's battle spirit is completely ignited at the moment. Unexpectedly, without dodging, he charges at Yang Wenzhao with lotus of blue rainlight in his hands. Swish, arrows carrying spiritual power shot past, leaving deep scratches on Long Haochen's holy spirit armor. But at this moment, there's no sense of retreat in his eyes. Long Haochen feels that every cell in his body is cheering, and the continuous fighting spirit is surging out of his body. Each wield of the sword carries his heartfelt joy. Yang Wenzhao, stunned by Long Haochen's crazy attack style, couldn't understand why Long Haochen is so eager for victory and so reckless in his attack. However, as a knight, he won't allow himself to flinch easily. Yang Wenzhao roars angrily and woke up the ferocity that buried deeply in his body. He waves his long sword and engages in a close fight with Long Haochen. The dull sound of weapons crashing and the striking dents on the armor of the two men make the audience tremble and gasp. Even the usually bustling rostrum is all silent at the moment, and no one has said a word for a long time. These senior elders are deeply shocked by the strength and ferocity of Long Haochen and Yang Wenzhao. It is hard to imagine that they are just level 5 knights. After more than 10 minutes of fighting, the two of them are both sagged in their breath. Although Yang Wenzhao has the assistance of the Xinghai Spirit Furnace, he's still unable to defeat Long Haochen's lotus of blue rainlight. He gasps heavily, his armor covered with knife marks, and a striking cut is left on his left shoulder. Correspondingly, Long Haochen's armor also has many damages, but he's in a better condition than Yang Wenzhao. Yang Wenzhao knows that if the fight continues, he will definitely be exhausted and defeated. With his current state, if he wants to turn the table, he can only save his strength and fight with all his might. After Yang Wenzhao drives off Long Haochen briefly with his saved strength, he quickly activates his internal spiritual power and communicates with the summoning array. Following a sharp animal call, Yang Wenzhao summons the Starshine Unicorn, a level 7 demon with top-level blood. The Starshine Unicorn carries Yang Wenzhao to avoid Long Haochen's attack, trying to create opportunities for its owner and let Yang Wenzhao accumulate his strength to deliver the strongest strike. The moment Long Haochen sees the Starshine Unicorn, a purple pattern appears on his forehead as he summons Haochen. At the same time, he steps forward heavily and bends forward to launch the strongest strike to make a final bid for victory. Haochen. Long Haochen roars, and the magnificent spiritual power in his body emerges like a sea tide, constantly converging in Long Haochen's hands with a long sword. Haochen, who has taken a hint, displays her body image, exerting her strongest auxiliary skills for Long Haochen. Although most of the audience have seen the body image of Haochen, when they see the three-headed giants again, they are still shocked and their eyes widened involuntarily. At this moment, Long Haochen is completely immersed in the perception of the sword's meaning. He puts all emotions out of his mind, collects his thoughts, and concentrates all power in one point. The majestic sword's meaning seems to materialize, even the surrounding air is distorted, and condensed into an exaggerated cyclone around Long Haochen. With two powerful growls, Yang Wenzhao and Long Haochen launch their strongest strikes, with two powerful forces rushing towards each other with tremendous power. The sword energy passes by, sending bricks and stones flying and the challenge arena collapsing, and everything it passes through is ruined. Feeling the terrifying pressure on their faces, the audience stand up in unison, their burning eyes flashing scarlet. They nervously clench their fists and hold their breath in anticipation of the end of this amazing battle. The elders of the rostrum are also stunned by the performance of these two. The fight is wonderful beyond description. This is a battle that could be recorded in the history of the Demon Hunting Group selection competition. Han Xian's body trembles slightly, and he is proud of these two talents in the Night Temple. Ying Suifeng, however, feels so terrible that he has trouble in breathing as he watches the fight, the corner of his lips twitching. Finally, under the gaze of countless eyes, two slashes collide in the center of the challenge arena, and a wave of air suddenly explode, obliterating the scene before them. The majestic backwash force comes to Long Haochen and Yang Wenzhao in an overwhelming way. Long Haochen's royal sword has blocked this terrible impact. Yang Wenzhao, who's physically weak, ends up being lifted away by this powerful force. He still wants to stabilize his balance and seek a chance to fight again. However, Haochen appears behind him at some time, with a huge head sticking out and biting Yang Wenzhao's neck, making it impossible for him to fight back. At this moment, Yang Wenzhao has no chance to fight back. This amazing battle ends with Long Haochen's victory.